Good morning, everyone. This is the episode 3 of the Uncharted podcast. Today we're going to be talking about mainly Kanye West stem players. So it's going to be an interesting topic. We have an extra guest today, our CFO, Ezekiel Thomas.
What's going on?
He's a pretty big Kanye fan, so he can give us some perspective on his side in terms of just, the artist aspiration as well as just like the business aspiration of things as well. And, as usual, we're just going to dive into things, the industry aspect and kind of give our perspective from the engineer aspect to like the business aspect and just the creative overall like consumer, So I guess just real quick, Elijah Thomas here, Keon Nahali.
What's up?
Hess. And so, yeah, we're just going to get into it. Sounds good.
Let's roll with it.
All right, cool. All right, so pretty much like I said, what we're going to start out with is a stem player. As you guys know, the stem player pretty much is a device that allows you to take a song and break it up into individual stems. A lot of times they break it up into like a bass line, the main vocals, maybe like synths and things like that. And allows you to kind of section them out, change volumes, loop them, whatever it may be. It's a pretty cool device, especially as a creative or as an engineer. That's what we do when we're working, so it's kind of cool to be able to separate that out with the final song or something like that. So yeah, I kind of want to hear your guys' perspective. Like, what do you guys think? Well, first, what do you guys think about the stem player as a product? And then we can kind of talk about the business aspect of it, So yeah, if you guys want to give like perspective on that first.
Keon?
I mean, I think it's definitely kind of a cool idea. And I don't know too much about the stem. Isn't it like a portable kind of?
See, yeah, you plug headphones in and stuff like that to listen to it.
I mean, that's cool. Like, personally, on my end, I would never, in all honesty, kind of buy one and everything like that. And just with how streaming is going and everything, I mean, CDs are pretty much obsolete now and everything.
Very true, too.
Everything's going down. So it's like everyone wants everything at like the snap of a finger.
Yeah.
Like, I want to be able to go like this, and then it's right there when I want it. And it's like the convenience of it. I mean, that's why streaming is king right now. And it's not going anywhere anytime soon. So to like bring another like device, product into the game and into the world and everything where you have to carry it around. It's a cool idea. And I love Kanye, even though he's off the walls. I love him from like an artist perspective and as a businessman's perspective. I just don't think like
this is it.
I don't think,
and that's the thing. Like when we talk about like going from iPods and stuff like that, you know what I'm saying? To like now we have a device that literally, and the thing is too, it only can store like an album or two. You know what I'm saying? Maybe like
see, that's
one or two
whack.
albums. You know what I'm saying? Like it would be one thing if you could literally put like a whole, you know what I'm saying, like library of your stuff on there.
Yeah.
But if you're only putting like 1 or 2 albums, I'm carrying this one thing around just for that.
I mean, it's memorabilia. It's like I can see why, the attachment to it is important, right?
Yeah.
You say, all right, Kanye has only 10, 11,000 of these ever sold. That's going to have its own value because it's almost like an NFT kind of thing, right?
True.
I have one copy of this and there's only so many out there. So that's cool.
True. That's true.
But I think it would have been better if it was like an app or something,
No, for sure.
So imagine if you had an app and could do the same function. That's more accessible. Way more accessible to people.
Yep.
You're not carrying an extra device. I think that's a more useful way to do it.
Something that someone brought up to me, which I thought was actually pretty cool, is that what you can do with the stem player is you can just take a regular song and it will use an algorithm to split it. That technology is probably what is more valuable about the stem player than the actual stem player itself.
How accurate
That's
is the
crazy.
splitting though?
It isn't perfect, of course. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, it's very hard to split up a song. You know what I'm saying? When you actually have the entire file. Because I originally thought they were reaching out to, let's say, because someone did with like Frank Ocean's like Pink Matter, right? Something I'm sitting there thinking that they reached out to like the record label, got the actual project files, and actually got the stems and then split it up. You know what I'm saying? So he might be able to do that for Donda because he actually owns the project. But I think so. What they actually do is they take the actual file. So you can upload an MP3 from like YouTube, right? You send it over to the stem player website, and the stem player website splits it up. I'm quite sure using like EQs and certain things like that to kind of split it all up into different pieces, and then it uploads this to the stem players like 4 different sections or something like that. So it's a cool concept, you know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, like when people want to separate vocals for like certain songs, if they're working as a DJ to do certain things, whatever it may be, it's a cool idea because that's software in itself. Now, how good is it?
That's a whole nother.
I think it also depends on the quality of the file. So like if you were to pull like a really crappy MP3 in there or something like that, like, you know, 120 kps or something like that, if you're using like a really low bitrate file and it's already compressed like MP3, it's just not gonna sound that great. Yeah. So I had someone, I was watching a video and they used what song did they use? They used like Kid Cudi's a song by Kid Cudi, Pursuit of Happiness or something like that, and they pulled out the vocal and it sounded like the vocal was there and it didn't have like the other elements, but the reverbs and stuff like that didn't sound right. You know what I'm saying? Because you know when you like section out a vocal, you can actually hear the actual width of the reverb and stuff like that. It sounded like it was getting like mixed up with the other instruments, and when they split the other parts, they still had some of the reverb from the vocal rather than like the reverb of the instrument or something like that. You know?
Yeah.
So like I said, it's impossible to like really do it perfectly though.
I think it's cool. It's just it's a great like marketing scheme.
Yeah.
Not a scheme, but like I mean Kanye and his team, those guys are thinking what they're going to be releasing in the next 2 years. Yep. You know, it's a strict business line with them and everything. What do you think, Hess?
So it's like you're saying. So do you buy the device and then you upload what songs you need uploaded, or does it already come with Donda on it?
Yeah. So it already comes with Donda on it, and then for Donda 2, you can go on the website and get Donda 2 uploaded to it.
So I think it's a cool idea. I'm just kind of a fan of having something material physically in my hand. Now the fact that you can only store a few albums on it, that makes me be like,
it's literally on like 2.
Not much space. Our technology is at the point where like we can have way bigger storage.
Have a terabyte on an iPhone now.
Yeah. So that would be like my only thing would be like, you know, open that up and then get deals with the publishing companies, so or labels, so you can have the physical breakdowns on actual albums that are being released.
I think that would be a huge difference. That would make a huge difference.
And I think that would be maybe like, okay, that might have a better chance.
Yeah.
Because like you're saying with DJs and stuff like that, it'd be very really cool device. Especially if you could do it with, you know, older songs that are old. You know, you don't have to go digging through the crates as much, but you still get that same quality. Like we get in a little bit more hands-on, like be able to craft it a little bit better, other than stripping down just a sample and doing your thing. As far as it would be better to be an app. I think it would be more beneficial
for sure. I think he probably has the ability to do it.
I think having the two options would be good, or like having certain benefits with the physical item and then having certain benefits with the app.
That's true.
Or be able to like connect them together. Would be cool.
Like be able to sync.
So you don't necessarily have to have it, but you know,
maybe get a couple extra features when you do have it. Like that.
Exactly. Yeah. I think that would be cool because everybody likes to touch things. I mean, let's be honest. As much as we do apps and streaming and all that, and it's very easy. That's why people like. There are a lot of people that still like to touch things. Yeah. And vinyl, I mean, vinyl sales are going crazy. Yeah. So like,
it's not the greatest sound either. You know
it's revived, bro.
Yeah.
So it just, I think in that aspect, it's really cool. But I don't think it's an everyday listener. Device.
I agree.
You know where I found out?
That's my thing.
I just thought about it in my head. I think it only has a headphone jack. We don't even have headphones nowadays. Usually, headphone jacks.
It's like going backwards almost.
Yeah,
it's not even Bluetooth compatible.
I don't, because there's no visual interface outside of the touch stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I'm not 100% sure if it has Bluetooth, but literally what I saw for like the actual physical, it has a headphone jack on it. You know what I'm saying? So it's like a headphone jack. Like
they should get those old Walkman.
He's trying to take you back.
Yeah, like fuzzy ear ones that is fucking clamp on.
Like that's why I'm like, even right now, people with the AirPods, stuff like that. Even myself, you know, I used to be a pretty big fan of actually keeping my headphone jack. You know what I'm saying? Actually have a cable because you get better sound quality out of it. You know what I'm saying? And you don't have to worry about battery. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. Especially good headphones, you could change out the cables and stuff like that.
Now the Bluetooth is so good. Like
yes, the codecs are so much better.
I don't really notice a difference unless it's like kind of a crappier pair of Bluetooth headphones. Then I notice.
Because the thing is, the limitation is not even like the Bluetooth at that point, it becomes the audio that you're streaming. You know what I'm saying? Like Spotify is only up to a certain level. You know what I'm saying? Like if you had the Tidal, you know what I'm saying, subscription, you paid for like the top dollar one, right? Where you got like the hi-fi system where you would get like 96 kilohertz or something like that, and then you'd have up to like 24-bit wave files that you're streaming. Headphones, Bluetooth wasn't, you know what I'm saying, like had enough bandwidth to send that much information over. But on Spotify, you're not even hitting that. You know what I'm saying? So.
No, Spotify's algorithm is to keep everything at a consistent level.
That's true too.
So like you can even have like a song that's like mastered way below like industry standard, but their algorithm's gonna boost it. Of course, you never want the algorithm to boost like your gain for you.
I think it's cool for a collector piece.
Yeah,
focus on that. Leave it as a collector piece. If you want to do some extra stuff, go for it. To me, I feel like every artist should be focusing on more of the Dolby Atmos game, spatial audio game. That's where everybody's going. Sony 360, spatial audio from Apple.
Audio supports it. Apple supports it,
if you've listened to it even on stereo, like headphones or in the car, spatial audio, it's still a difference. Even though it's not like your output device is not compatible, it's still a big difference.
Josh Goodwin just mixed a John Mayer song, doing like Dolby Atmos and everything.
Yeah, I mean, everybody's getting a Dolby Atmos because it breaks down to stereo. So if you mix in Dolby, it just breaks down to stereo. It folds in. So like, I mean, it's like why not do it if you have the access to do it?
That's true.
I think that's more beneficial, especially with albums like with Kanye and stuff. There's a lot of like, I mean, he puts a lot of work, and the people he works with put a lot of work in what they're doing. Yeah. So making it immersive is, I feel, a lot more beneficial than just having the stems itself or throwing out there. It's a cool idea.
I think it's just the beginning still, though. I think it's still very... No, not the that, but the whole idea of him introducing the stem player itself.
I get that. It's just...
He's still... I think he was trying to test the waters, see how many people were interested. And you already know the Kanye stans and followers are going to be following. They're going to buy it regardless. Yeah. So if he had 11,000 people that bought it, I mean, that's 11,000 people times $200. Mm-hmm. You know, I got my bread back. That's cool.
And everyone's talking about it. I mean, look at us. We're talking about it. You know?
Exactly.
I mean, I stand by it. Kanye's a genius. Like, I'm not afraid to say it. Like, he is odd or crazy as he sounds sometimes. I think he just has trouble saying what he actually is thinking.
Yep. Yeah.
But if you look back and you kind of break down anything he's ever really said, and you're like, oh wow, he's crazy at that time. Months later, oh wow, Kanye was actually a genius.
That's what always happens.
And so, so there, I do think, eventually when they kind of figure out what's going on or what could be added or taken away or make it more efficient. Mm-hmm. I think it's going to turn into something that's going to take off.
I mean, it's just like even the Dolby Atmos side and stuff like that. It's always about like making music more immersive and having that ability to like have more control. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Stuff like that.
And I think that's a new way of doing it.
And that's why I think like you said, like Kanye knows what he's doing. So I think like what's going to happen, just how technology works as a whole, right? Like if you can take the same. Like the website, right? If you can take that algorithm and just put it into an application, they're gonna do so. You know why? Yeah. Because when they go drop that shit on the app store, they can sell for $1 or $2 or whatever it may be, and everyone's gonna buy it. You know what I'm saying? So Kanye's businessman, I'm quite sure he's gonna convert that into an application.
Yeah, I think it's all everything that we said. I think is where it's gonna become.
Yeah, that's where he's really gonna make his money from it. You know. I think.
But I think if you make music, it's probably something to invest in or at least check out. I don't know about everyday listeners, but.
It's the convenience of it too. Like, you know, like
I think DJs would like it.
Oh, for sure. Because that gives you guys like so much more flexibility. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like if you had it as an input or something like that, I think that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah. Yeah. That's just pretty much seeing like what it's capable in itself of being able to like work with. Like, can it work with like CDJs? Can it work with a mixer and everything like that? Yep. Yeah. That would be actually like pretty cool.
But I'm really curious about the business side of it. I know we're gonna get into that, but like, what are the rights you have with it?
Yeah, that's true too. I think that's where I think like I said, how the guy that I was watching on YouTube that was doing like an unboxing, right? And he was like putting a song to it. All right, there we already have a problem, right? Because he stripped this thing from YouTube.
Yeah, you're already you're already targeted,
right? Yeah. So you download this thing from YouTube. You can't even. I don't know. Is there even a way for you to buy a song and actually get the MP3 file?
What do you mean, like?
Can you go on physically buy a song and then I
mean, if you go buy the CD and you rip it, right? But I don't know how many people are still selling CDs like that. But
I mean,
I'm saying even online.
you can like.
I think that's how it works still.
But I'm saying like in an online format, can you go online and buy it and download the MP3?
You go to Apple and just buy a song.
Yeah. Or you can go on like beatport.com.
But you can go into iTunes and then download a file. Like you have the ability to pull it from there and actually as a file.
I believe so.
Yeah, I believe so.
If you buy it,
okay. I was just thinking. All right. So I was just thinking about.
I remember what you were saying because that used to like not be a function. It would be like It would be like Google Play. I buy this and I gotta listen to it on
that
Play.
actual platform. Yeah.
I know what you're saying.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So no, you don't just get a downloaded folder. But you can.
That's what I was thinking.
But you can pull it. I
I
believe
think you can
there's
export it out of iTunes and do something with it. Yeah.
So I can drop it in Studio One and just export it there.
True. Yeah. Okay. Well, I was just thinking about the rights, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, are you actually legally buying this thing in the first place? You know. But like I said, like the problem with this guy was like he just literally just ripped it from YouTube. You know what I'm saying? So there's one copyright, you know, rights issue right there. And then he took it and he put it into the stem player, right? So is stem player accountable for the songs that might be illegally imported in there and split up, you know what I'm saying, to the stem player that's used? I don't know, right? They probably, since they allow people to do that, I guess they're not, you know what I'm saying, it doesn't really make a difference because just leaving the rights up to the people. You know
unless they got in like fine print that stem player is not responsible for
they probably do.
the actions of the user.
Yeah, I think it's all on the user.
Because I mean, they definitely approve the albums that are already supported on there for you to, you know, upload into your stem player. You know what I'm saying? Because I think there might be more than Donda on there. There might be. I can't remember exactly, but I know for sure those are on there. But I think the rights aspect of it is probably going to be the biggest problem because if he wants to get more albums on there, we actually gets the stems. He has to go get the rights from every single person that owns those masters. You know what I'm saying? Has to go into those project files, have to get those stems and stuff like that, export it out and things like that. And that in itself is work. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know.
I think that wouldn't even be that big of as an issue. More as in everybody's just gonna start trying to use those sounds to create every song, which I mean that's a point of a sample, and that's what they do with, you know, songs from the 40s all the way up into, you know, now. But keeping up with the licensing, that's going to be, I think, probably the biggest problem.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I don't artists, I don't know. It'd be a weird thing to see. Because I'm sure there's a way to do it, or a way they're going to figure out how they should do it, because everything's done with streaming anyway, and people don't make a whole lot of money from streaming. I mean, maybe people like Kanye make, you know, good amount, but not versus probably what they're actually capable adding up to.
I mean, at the end, this all could just be a one-time, here's to promote my
and
new
that's cool
album.
Too. That's
which is really cool, because then it will get other artists and everything in the industry to kind of think of new, like, innovative ways of promoing their music.
We were just talking about, it's no different from merch, bro. It's no different
it's
from
a new
merch or some posters and stuff like that.
I mean, we saw how Nipsey did it way back. We saw Jay-Z did it.
Yep.
Wu-Tang did it.
Yep.
All using CDs or vinyl. And it's a specific project.
Yep.
The same concept. Yeah. And I mean, I think it's genius. That part. I think it's awesome having, you know, 10,000 of one thing or 500 of one thing and being like, okay, this is the price. Get it if you can get it.
Yeah.
I think that's a cool thing. I think though he does want it to go a lot. I think he wants it to turn into something, because otherwise you wouldn't put that much attention to a device.
Do you think he wants it to be like a mainstream kind of?
Because it could be.
Will. I think it can.
As an app, I think it will. I don't think as a physical device, but I think as an app, it will.
I think as an app.
People are not going to.
Because the convenience of it.
Yeah.
We're getting lazier nowadays.
People are not carrying around an extra plate. You know what I'm saying?
Like, oh man, I forgot my stem player at home. I gotta go home from the gym.
Not doing it, bro. People are not doing that, man.
Like, I left my phone at home. Oh, but I got my Donda device.
I got that stem player. You know what I'm saying? I'm chilling for no. Like,
I just want to listen to my hi hats only when I'm working.
I'm going straight acapella today. I don't want no beat, bro. No beat.
Like, yo, is Elijah listening to the kick only from the third track on Donda?
Have you ever worked out to a piccolo?
That shit right there.
Let me get my metal headphones on.
Yeah, bro. Nah, yeah.
It's definitely an innovative way for to market his music. I mean, that man, he's a businessman too.
Yeah.
You know, so I'm pretty sure they already got everything lined up for the next album, the album after that. And I can only imagine how many people are on his team.
That's true.
You know, like
I think the other thing I was thinking about too with this is, do you guys think it's gonna play a role into production, right? Because like a lot of people want samples. Right? Do you think people are gonna start using it as like a sampling device to like try to pull out
100%? I think that's the only reason for it. I don't see why there would be another reason for it. I don't. And I think that's what we're saying for DJs and producers. Yeah, it'd be a cool device, but at the same time, everybody's going to use the same 808.
Yeah,
everybody's going to use the same piano riff. It's going to, in which they kind of do already with just samples from anything. I mean, who's in songs now? I mean, people in the 90s were using those samples, which came from a band out of the 50s.
That's true.
You know, so I mean, samples are being used, multiple songs, different genres all the time now. But I don't see why a regular listener would want to stem out of anything.
That's a valid point, man.
I talk to a lot of artists, and they don't even know what stems are. So like, what?
Very true.
There we go.
Very true. I also think though, like from a producer aspect and everything, producers are getting lazier too. People want to pump out as much beats and write as many instrumentals as possible. And I mean, there's a plugin out there called RX7. And I know we just talked about RX7. You can pretty much isolate anything in a song. You can get you can put a Whitney Houston song in there and get the acapella like after running it through RX7.
Yeah,
you know. So I think
Huh? So I did not know that's what it did.
Yeah.
I need to start utilizing that more.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's really good and everything like that. Like I do it all the time for my dubstep stuff, but then I want like a hip hop or like Dirty South vocal, and I'll throw in an RX7 just to get the acapella, so I can do like a pre-drop vocal for it.
Yeah, it's smart. I mean, it's almost the same concept.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's not splitting into different pieces, more so just pulling out what you want type thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you can isolate like the bass line and everything, and like it will do its best to do it.
I did not know that.
Yes. Yeah.
I just got you just put me on some shit, bro.
I know.
I've had that plugin for so long. I'm like, I don't know what that shit does.
No, RX7
dude,
is dope,
that's how
bro.
I was. But like when I first got it, I'm like, what the hell? Like it's just sitting there in my plugin folder.
And what's cool too, it's also an isolated program. So
you
can run it without any DAW.
Yeah. You can just
yeah.
You can just run it from your desktop.
Yeah,
straight up.
Open that shit up and just drop the file that you're working.
A lot of the isotope stuff is because I mean they're mastering that. I mean they have actually. I mean
Ozone, you can do the same thing.
Yeah.
It's for that cleaning it up. Any of the restoration stuff they have. I mean you can do it.
Yeah.
Solo dolo.
Boy.
It's life changing.
dope, man.
I know
They
what I'm
know
going
what
back
they're
to.
doing,
I'm gonna go try it when I get back.
Yeah.
Back to Philly. That's crazy.
But I think from a producer aspect, it's hard to say right now because it's still so early. Maybe later on they're gonna adapt to it, or maybe it's just a one and done type thing. And like how you were saying earlier, it's a memorabilia type of thing, which is kind of cool. Like later on, if you like take care of it and everything, and you're like in your 60s, you're like, man, I got Donda 2 right here.
Of the 10,000 Donda 2s.
Yeah. Right here. But no, I was talking on this Unbox video, man. He just pointed out a lot of good things, but he was like, "This is probably just gonna get sold on StockX once it sells out, bro." You know what I'm saying?
That is
it's
true.
just gonna get dropped on StockX once it's completely sold out. I'm probably gonna flip it for twice the price that I bought it for. You know what I'm saying? And go over there. He's like, to be honest, I'm not even the biggest Kanye fan, but I know when stuff like this drops, it's just a money making opportunity. You know what I'm saying, for him and other people if you want to cop them. You know,
it's like people like now still with like the whole PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X, like they're still not readily available. People are still selling them for $1,000.
That shit to get flipped.
Right?
Flipping consoles. What?
It's just wild.
They've been doing
but
it
we've said it
forever.
we've said it with everything Kanye's done. Every single thing.
Yeah.
He dropped his shoes. Oh, that's cool, but no one's ever gonna buy those.
Very true.
He switched over to Adidas. Oh, those are ugly. Ain't nobody ever gonna buy those.
Yep.
He always pushes the grain, man.
Look at his clothes. Those
Everyone
clothes are
tells him no, and then
horrendous.
they fucking
Now every clothing
value.
company
It
copies.
simulates what he does.
Yeah, I mean, he's done it with every single thing. Kanye, you're crazy. He's off his meds. 5 months later, oh, Kanye's a genius. How did he know?
His whole publicist team
Just
makes
let him-
sure that whatever he like says or
Like-
tweets, they know for a fact it's going to get attention.
Yeah.
Yep.
And everything. Like it's
It's
crazy.
methodical, man. These guys don't do this just off the whim.
No,
No, he's a marketing genius, bro.
Yeah.
Kanye's a winner. That's what he does. He wins, and he.
Okay.
Yeah.
Real quick, quick little thing with that. No, I said like Lil Nas X is like the king marketer out here. Is it Kanye or Lil Nas X? Who's better?
It's Kanye.
It's Kanye.
Yeah.
Kanye has $1 billion something dollars.
No. In terms of just like his ability
Marketing?
to bring in people.
Lil Nas X resonates with the youth of right now. Like everyone is so far up, like the TikTok asshole and like Instagram ass and everything.
Yeah.
So Lil Nas, he's very good and he's very charismatic.
Yeah.
That's what people love. People love a person who's charismatic, high energy and everything like that.
And the shock value too.
Exactly, and the shock value of everything. Look at all his music, like recent music videos and everything. When it comes to an actual music business in the industry standpoint, Kanye 150 million times over. I would put all my money on.
Here's
Kanye.
the thing: I hear less and less about Lil Nas X every day.
That's very
That
true.
is very
I
true.
see less and less
He has
things.
phases.
Comes back in, then dies out a little
But
bit.
Kanye can be
Forever
quiet,
relevant.
and it is still booming.
What the hell's he doing?
Like,
Yep.
I
he
love
doing?
Kanye.
but I think Kanye though deeply cares about what he's doing.
Oh, for
I don't
sure.
think there's a marketing ploy that he's so much is like,
It just
okay,
happens
this is
to
the ploy.
work
I think
in
that's
that.
just Kanye,
Yeah.
and they're like they know how to run him.
Yeah.
They know how to push him out there. They know how to do it, and just let him be himself. I think Lil Nas X, they have to be like, all right,
How can we?
what are we gonna do?
Yeah.
Oh, let's think. Okay, let's put a stripper pole all the way down to hell. Yeah, that might work. Kanye is not like that. I think Kanye would. I mean, like any genius in the history, they're a little out there.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what I mean?
Everyone thinks they're crazy. Everyone always thinks those, you know what I'm saying, those great minds are just crazy until like, oh, he's actually doing something.
Yeah.
You know, it's like Elon. I mean, Elon
Yep.
does the same thing.
Yep.
Elon and Kanye
Yep.
are very similar how they
Yep.
operate.
Yeah.
And people ridicule them all the time, but look at them.
Yeah. That's very true. I mean, like I remember I was looking back at like a few like old Elon Musk like interviews when he was first like developing Tesla and stuff like that. And you know, like I'm not sure if you guys remember, like the first Tesla was like based off a Lotus. Essentially, a Lotus is like
I didn't know that.
concept.
I know.
Yeah. And so like
Kind of cool.
So when they like saw that, they were like, "This guy's fucking crazy! Like, what are you doing?" You know what I'm saying? And then like, I think he first was talking like in interviews, like, "No, like the electric cars are going to be the future of this stuff. Like, my company's investing into that right now." And they're like, you know what I'm saying? They're looking at him as like combustion engines will forever still be a part of like the industry. And then Elon just kept with it. You know what I'm saying? And then in the
Most
last
valuable car company
Yes,
in the world.
Yes, and now over the last couple of years, like people can't stop just sitting on the Tesla name. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's Tesla makes what, like 3-4 cars right now, models. Or we said the most common ones are
It's like
3,
4 or 5 maybe.
The most common is at the 3, not even the Y like that. but-
3S.
Yes.
They got like
and the SUV one.
yeah, the
X.
SUV. Yeah,
Yes.
X and like another.
So
new one,
honestly,
right?
those are the most common 3.
Yeah.
They have the exact same design. The most simple paints, you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Simple rims and everything like that. This minimalistic design on the inside. You drive a Tesla, there's someone that with that almost the exact same car as you, if not the exact same car as you.
Yeah.
People buy those things off the shelves. But when he first started off talking about this crap, who is this guy? You know what I'm saying?
I'm
He's
trying
not
to
gonna be
get
able
a
to
Tesla,
manufacture
damn it.
his own cars.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I want a Tesla.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And in a crowd that literally like supports Tesla, like you think they were there supporting this man when he first talked about
Nah,
this
nah.
crap? Hell no.
And every other car company trying to catch up now.
Yes,
Ford's coming out with
everyone's-
so
yes,
many
yes,
electric
yes.
cars, BMW,
Yep.
and it's like you guys
Yep.
are behind them now.
But
Yeah,
you
it's a
saying
whole
that
phase right
makes,
now.
Yeah.
makes me realize this, and it kind of makes me realize how society works.
Yes.
And if you look at it, especially on like the more intimate side of society, when you look at TikTok videos or you look at Instagram and you're looking at all these people, and it's always like they see something and that is the truth to them. Like they have this whole thing of I can't mess with you unless you get in a bag, or I can't unless you look successful, I can't mess with you, or unless this and that. But then you look at it and none of that ever lasts. None of these artists ever last. You look at 6ix9ine, he has to hide everywhere he goes.
That's true.
And people are so infatuated with like how people are moving or how they look, and then they make fun of people like Elon. I mean, Elon went like almost bankrupt, like.
Yeah, it
Like, first,
ridiculously
like,
expensive to try to like start Tesla.
Years he kept failing and failing, stuff getting recalled. Kanye, they made fun of him for asking
He was talking about bankrupt too.
Yeah.
bankrupt,
He
and he was
owed 100
asking,
million to Zuckerberg or whatever.
yeah, and people were making
Kanye?
fun of him.
Yeah.
In debt for like the Yeezus stuff.
And years later, all that stuff, it was, Kanye went to Zuckerberg because it was for his clothing.
Yep.
Elon because of the cars. And now, like, like trying to find a pair of Yeezys is like incredible, or like a special pair, or shirts or hats, or and then the Teslas, like you have to, they're on back order, like and that just shows you like
people society follows trends. If the trend is not behind you, or it's not the common mentality,
they don't like new stuff. People don't like
change,
new. They don't want to change. And then when your change is like actually makes sense, and everybody starts hopping on, so you start getting the investors. People start loving
support it until
they come and do that. And then they all just start gravitating to it. You're selling out the shelves until the next person comes by and shakes it up again. That's what it is every time.
Everybody wants everything now. It has to be now and instantly. You know, same thing with anything. It's like starting out engineering. They're like, I'm like, I just started. You know, I'm trying to take this serious and you know, make it a profession. Oh, how much money are you making? Well, I don't have any clients yet. Oh,
so why are you like?
Why are you
even doing this? It's like,
you know what I mean?
It's
like I mean, there's a process. You got to build that brand, build that name. But people don't look at it that way, and that just shows you like
society is short-sighted, man.
And
absolutely,
yes, as a whole.
And that shit, and just like you're saying there, like
now,
it took,
you
know, and now even though Tesla it's fairly bland when you look at them. I mean, it's like
the innovation
where everybody's going.
The innovation is there.
It's a trend right now. I mean, it's like anything else too. Is like, at some point, you know, electric vehicles probably won't be the resolution for everything, but it's popping right now because they didn't pay attention to it when he was first talking about it.
I mean, me personally, I believe in gas.
Yeah,
because no one can shut down my car from an app on their phone,
which is a very valid point.
Exactly,
and that's a part of a problem with some of the Teslas is that they can literally enable, disable certain features, stuff like that, literally over the air, which is wild.
And like if somebody set off an EMP, like I'm still running.
Like
I mean,
that's very true.
I mean, here's like this is a little bit like a little far fetched, but like in the future, you know, if they have all these different things, you know, the electric vehicles, you got the internal combustion engine and stuff like that. Electric vehicles have lithium poisoning once those batteries go bad. Same thing like anything else.
They do.
You got to have a balance to everything. So it's probably going to be a mixture of both gas. It's going to be a mixture of electric vehicles. It's probably going to be a mixture of like some alternative hydrogen, some other alternative fuel. But it's all the stuff that they're not talking about right now. Why are they talking about right now? EVs, because EVs are important to sell.
You know what's so funny? The same thing that happened with the electric cars, like you said, it took a while for everyone to hop on, and then everyone started selling them. That was the same thing that happened with hydrogen cars. They had it going, and then people would stop like just supporting because they had a couple like stations and stuff like that in California where they had like hydrogen pumps and stuff like that. They made like a couple vehicles, and then no one bought them. So I have a very good feeling the same way that electric cars is going to go to the same thing where we're going to start reinvesting into like hydrogen research and how we can actually make that more effective, because it just turns hydrogen back into water, and literally water comes out your exhaust pipes. You know what I'm saying? So if there's anything that I feel like sustainable, you know what I'm saying, it's probably gonna be more of that. You know what I'm saying? Because electricity is still based off of
what are they pushing right now? Everybody's shifting their whole thing to electric vehicles because that's what Tesla created.
And gas is expensive. So
exactly.
And you got stuff like in California. I mean, how many times they have power outages?
That's true.
And stuff like that. Like you, like
brownouts and stuff like that.
Like, is it that much cleaner at the end of the day? The way
how
that
much more energy
the way that they're doing it.
All that energy you got to produce to charge your vehicle. You have to burn gas to make the electricity.
I can understand Iceland, like they run everything off water and stuff, but it's a small island. You know, it's the size of Florida.
It's not for everywhere. Not everywhere can drive an electric vehicle.
No, it was so funny. I was talking to somebody before. He's like, I don't think our electrical systems have the ability to provide that much power. If every single person in America had an electrical vehicle, we wouldn't have the ability to provide that much power. No, it literally wouldn't be possible. Yeah, you know,
man,
limits.
We need the DeLorean from Back to the Future 2, where you put trash in it and then it like turns it over into like energy.
Nah, man. And the crazy thing is too, I'm not sure if you guys know about this. We're not even really talking about music as much. What we're talking about societal impact. Okay, so but it was so cool because in Europe, they actually have a thing that they implemented now where I think it's within the next 10 years, all car manufacturers, don't quote me on this, but I think very similar to this, all car manufacturers have to switch over from using combustion engines to electrical vehicles.
I heard the same thing before.
You heard about that, right?
Yeah, I've heard that.
So
they're going to shut them down. They're illegal.
Yeah, this is going to be illegal, which is crazy because what's going to happen in the next 10 years if the electrical systems aren't built up, you know what I'm saying, to support that level of demand in that country or in that continent, essentially, you know what I'm saying, which is wild, you know, because like even we said like the top car manufacturers out there, like BMW. What would you say? Even like even like Ferraris and stuff like that. You know, these high brand, high
all those
cars and stuff
VW,
like that.
they run all that shit. Yeah.
All of them have to.
They're going to
convert
provide a
electric.
license if you buy this license in order to operate.
Gas vehicle.
Yeah.
Carbon
So-
credits or whatever, you got to be able to contain a certain amount of them. You have to purchase it.
So if you're
That's probably what you think is going to go.
if you're rich enough to own a Ferrari, then you buy that license and they'll make some money. So it's okay to destroy the environment.
If
then.
you got the bread for it,
You got to be able to plant 100 trees for you to drive your Ferrari as freely as possible.
Kanye gonna come out with a new car.
I mean, that's what it is. So I'm talking about the balance. That's where it's trying to be heading to.
It's an interesting one, man.
But
I think
tie it back to the business side of the things, right?
Bro, we got like a couple minutes left, so I want to touch on this real quick, right?
Yeah.
So we were talking about the streaming. We were talking about like the STEM player, how that's affecting like rights. We were talking about how just like overall as a product, how we use it and stuff like that. But I want to talk about also like how does it affect the streaming game? You know what I'm saying? Because when we look at just like, I was actually looking at the numbers before we came here, or we came onto the podcast. So I'm not sure if you guys knew this, but Tidal was the one that paid the most.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
They were paying 12 cents per play, which I didn't know was that much. That's actually pretty big.
That's pretty crazy.
Yeah, that's pretty high.
That's good.
So 12 cents per play. Apple pays
Or like 0.008.
0.01, so 1 cent
1
per play.
cent per play.
Amazon Music is a fourth.
I know
No,
Spotify
0.004.
4 thousandths.
4 thousandths. No, 400ths.
Hundredths.
Yeah, 400ths of a penny.
A penny is 100th. That's 4 thousandths.
Jeez. All right. Terrible.
Yeah, 0.004.
Okay, let's go in this range. Streams to get $1,000. So on Tidal, you only need 8,333 streams to get $1,000. It's not bad. Apple Music is 100,000 streams, which is like that's a lot of
Spotify's
streams.
disgusting, bro.
Amazon Music 250,000. Spotify is 303,000. YouTube Music is 500,000 to get $1,000.
Damn.
Pandora is 769,000 streams, and Deezer is damn near a million.
But anyone using Deezer?
What is
Anyone?
the point?
Who is Deezer?
First off, if you're using Deezer, stop using Deezer. You're not
not getting
helping your
anything.
artists.
Where?
But what's the other thing I'm thinking about, right? So like a quick thing, Apple, right? We were just talking about lossless audio and stuff like that, right? They've now integrated that into the Apple Music app, right? That was the one thing that made like Tidal special. Is Tidal going to go out of business at this point? Because I don't even know there's a point in Tidal anymore.
I think
owns
there's
Tidal
0
again?
point.
It was Jay-Z, but I think
But
he
it's a
sold
collective
it.
artist.
But I think he might have sold it
Okay.
now.
I
I think
think
he sold over
there's,
to
It's
somebody
not just
else.
Jay-Z anymore. There's like a bunch of artists that own it. It's like Jay-Z, Beyonce, Kanye, blah, blah, blah. There's like a Snoop or some people. There's like a bunch of different partners.
Maybe they're talking about dropping down from position or something like
Yeah,
that.
he's
but
not the sole owner.
Yeah,
anymore.
yeah.
It's collectively owned now.
But still, regardless, I think Tidal has lost its exclusivity because of that, right? Like Tidal is all about high quality. You know what I'm saying? You might have a few extra albums or mixtapes on there that wasn't on other platforms and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You might have a couple concert streams and stuff like that, but I really don't see how Tidal's gonna have its foothold in
Advantage
the
anymore.
industry
So this is where-
outside of higher paying for the artists.
Yeah, I mean, for them, this is probably where they need to partner up with, like, you know, the STEM player kind of exclusivity kind of thing and say, well, this is where the app is only released on, only Tidal. Where you can
Or
use your
adds that feature to the application
Ooh,
or
yeah.
something like that.
you know,
yeah.
to make themselves more,
Yeah.
you know, unique and niche. Because what I see the problem with this, the streaming versus like the,
Purchasing
the-
of stuff.
yeah, the streaming versus like the actual like credit that goes to artists. Because I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah.
just 300,000 streams for $1,000.
That's ridiculous.
When I can go to somebody else, 8,000 streams.
Yeah, 8,000
for $1,000. That's not even
Huge.
comparable.
That's
Yeah.
That's not even comparable.
Yeah.
But the STEM player comes in here, it inserts itself and says, all right, well, maybe I don't need 300,000 plays to get that same $1,000, do I? I can get $1,000 for selling my individual STEM player and selling that to 10 people for $100.
Are you saying like your own custom STEM player?
You're creating your own customer base of your fan base by using a STEM player.
I mean that's
And you're getting
Oh, you're talking
way
about, like,
more
dropping
money.
your music on a STEM
Yes.
player.
because
Okay,
it's
okay.
royalty based, or it should be royalty
I
based,
would
not
assume.
not streaming.
Yeah.
So you know, if you own 100% of everything you have,
That's why I was thinking like if
100%
I was gonna
profit.
buy the rights to the music from the artist or
From
something
there
like
and
that.
everything.
you don't buy the
Same.
rights, you just buy.
You usually say royalty type of thing where like every stream or something like that or whatever it may be. You know what I'm saying? To actually
Yeah,
play it
so
on the
It's
actual
probably
You
like
still own it
buying
all,
the copy
but-
itself.
yeah.
Like
Yeah.
a license to that piece of music.
Which will make more sense if you're gonna be splitting it up and also the crap, you know what I'm saying? You have the rights to like manipulate it or something.
Yeah,
like that,
exactly.
you know?
It's kind of like what Yo Gotti just did. He released a song and they took I forgot the name of the song, but he took the feature verse off and left it as an open verse, and anybody can go to his website, download it.
Yep.
They can 100% monetize it, but he still owns the masters.
Really?
There you go.
That is actually kind of cool.
So it's his verse, an open verse, and then you can release it however you want to release it. And then he still owns the masters, of course, but you monetize it, keep it.
That's actually really cool.
That's pretty dope.
Yeah.
Smart.
Man, respect to Gotti for that. That's actually a new way.
I think that the doors are being opened, you know what I'm saying? In terms of like flexibility and ability for artists to generate revenue in other ways that they weren't able to do before.
Yeah.
You know, and I think a lot of it just comes down to like it's so funny, like just having a different way of thinking about what can be done. You know what I'm saying? Don't just follow in the same path just because like this is what the easier way to do it is.
We're seeing a transition right now.
Yeah.
There's always phases, right? The 90s, it was cassette players starting to enter with CDs. Yep. CDs was going from late 90s to like middle 2000s, late 2000s. Then you start getting stream that comes in around like 2010, 2011. It's about 10 years now since that's passed. Something else has to come in.
Yep.
We're chopping up. We're finding new ways to package music, sell music, and incorporate different people and like use different like bases of groups.
Yep.
To allow you to make money in different ways.
Right.
Streaming was a way for everybody to get accessibility to your music everywhere across the world. Right?
And I mean, Kanye was talking about this on Joe Rogan when he was running for president. His big thing, because I remember Joe Rogan was like, so, you know, what's going to be your focus? He couldn't say anything he was going to do while being president or had anything to do with being president. But one thing he kept touching on was how streaming is like pretty much fucking artists.
Yeah.
Yep.
And how he wants to be a part of making music.
So
I think that was
bro.
the whole ploy, was build up that.
Kanye's genuine, bro. He's always been talking about that shit.
No, I think if anybody can do it, it's going to be him, and it should be him. And
always been talking about
president.
Yay, 2024.
I was gonna say like, well, this is the thing. We pretty much ran out of time at this point, right? But we're at that point. But I think this is a cool topic for us to even talk about, just going into the future, because this might be an opportunity to kind of like touch on this aspect. So, how can now record labels use their capital to create opportunities for artists to do stuff like what you said, right? Because it's damn near impossible for an independent artist to come up and just create something like that. There's no way you have the ability to develop or create type of contracts on that level for you to just drop stuff on a stem player or have that level of a product, you know what I'm saying, to put out. A record label is going to be the way that people have the capital to do something like that.
I disagree with that one.
I don't want to discuss it now.
Save that for the next one.
For the next podcast. But I think it's a topic to discuss because record labels keep having to find a way to impact the industry and find their foothold.
Because they have the connections, they have the resources, they have the tools.
Yes.
But how do they evolve with the new changes?
But will they use that? It's hard enough for to get them to spend money.
They're already heavily invested in the streaming stuff. Now they got to figure out, well, how the hell do we get out of the streaming shit?
I don't
get
think
money somewhere else because these bills ain't gonna.
I don't think it matters to them. I think I can go to Fiverr and hire somebody that knows coding well enough for me to create something that is going to be on par with doing something similar, or contacting the stem player, company and getting my own stuff on there. I don't think I would need a label to do anything because even though they have resources for marketing, sure.
Yeah.
But they're not putting money up for anything or anybody.
Damn, that's a good topic. We definitely have.
Yeah, we gotta save that for the next one, man. That's a good topic. Yeah, because I want to talk about that right now, but I know it's a little
on
too
the
much.
Next episode of the Uncharted podcast. But like you said, this is gonna be the next topic. Appreciate you guys listening to this one. Those are pretty interesting.
Oh, but before we sign off, I think we should give a shout out for the show going on today at St. Louis.
For sure.
Yeah.
So we have two of our artists that we work with, Christian Collin, as well as Caesar. And so they're going to be going out to St. Leo University. They're going to be doing, I think, like 30 to 40 minute sets out there. It's going to be out with their student base for their Spring Fest. It's going to be pretty dope. You know what I'm saying? We're going to be going out there to support them. Going to make sure that we have, like some of their music from their EPs that they've been working on, or some new singles, stuff like that, unreleased stuff, some released stuff. It's going to be a great opportunity. So we're really looking forward to it.
Yeah, everyone definitely go check out their music for sure.
Yeah.
They're definitely cooking up some good shit lately.
You go around the Uncharted website, uncharted-records.com, go on the label page, and you'll see them.
You'll see them, man.
Yeah.
Read them up.
Yeah.
Check out their music.
Follow them on Spotify.
Yes, sir.
We're ready for the drops.
Do the whole thing.
Yeah. But once again, appreciate you guys listening in today.
Thank you, everyone.
Wait for the next one. And yeah,
we'll see y'all soon. Hell yeah.
The next one. All right, guys.
All right, peace.